Hi, friends. My name is Bhavya Mangla, and I'm again back in episode number 10 in the Unfiltered conversation. We started this series with the objective that we'll talk to someone very frank, very open, without any inhibition. And the objective is to understand what exactly the other person is feeling about something. Another thing is that the objective is to talk to the common people, understand what is their perspective of different things. Our first series was with respect to Toastmasters and what we can learn about it. And in the second series, we are talking about mindfulness. And why we are talking about mindfulness, the intent is that this is something which is most important at this particular point of time. We all are struggling with different things, and mindfulness is just one thing which can help us to bring out many things together. In fact, when we talk about today's episode, along with me is my colleague, my co-host, Shweta Bhansali, who is also an NLP practitioner, who is a PhD and who is doing studies on nanotechnologies. And we both are going to talk to a very interesting personality. His name is Hasnain Waris. Hasnain Waris worked in creative field in the ad world for 15 years, and after reaching to the pinnacle, one day he decided that there is something more which he needs to do, and then he started finding himself, and now he is a coach, he is an NLP practitioner, and he's helping the people to find the best in themselves. So let me call on Mike, our today's guest, Hasnain Waris. Hi, Hasnain. How are you?
Thank you, Bhavya, and hello, everyone. It's pleasure to be here on your show.
So, Hasnain, as we were talking earlier, also, I think everyone is curious to understand that someone who is in the ad world doing very good, and then why that someone decides to leave that lucrative and the job which you're getting a lot of money, and then in this field where there are a lot of challenges both personally and professionally. So, can you throw some light with respect to that?
Yes, Bhavya, if you ask me, I was always cut for this role only, but our society and therefore all of us carry certain beliefs about spirituality. Not many parents have got spirituality as a career wish list for their kids. So, at the best, we discourage people from venturing into this not so socially productive, if that's a better word, field where people have to live very humble life, and we want to make our kids doctors and engineers, and not spiritualists. So I was also a victim of this mindset when I clearly remember I was in college, my final year, and I had a very elderly friend. Most of my friends were like double my age all throughout my life. And I asked him that I want to become a saint. And he said, पहले नौकरी कर लो, फिर जो बनना है बन जाना. And I found, okay, maybe I am trying to be an escapist, not taking the corporate route and doing the things the way a normal like public does. So maybe I am being a little freaky, and I just took another route that is very conventional way. And I found that I had some creative bend, and I was mentored by a artist friend. And yes, then agencies happened, and then for 15 years I was mistaking creative kicks for spiritual kicks.
Hmm. And then what happened, and then why you decided, and how that thought came that now you have to leave this because there's a lot of money that you must be earning at that time, and you have to live run the family also and do all that.
Yeah, my high point was Mudra Mumbai, and
Hmm.
year was 11 12, or 10 11, to be precise. And mm, you know uh, we are talking mindfulness, and let me share a very interesting thing about mind
Yeah.
creates a circle, uh, uh, a range, and it goes up to that level only until that is bursted. So in my case, my high point was like Mumbai jana hai, films karni hai. Because in Delhi it's a smallish pond.
Yeah.
So I was looking for a bigger break, and one day that happened, as Grace plans. Even without sharing a CV with anyone, I landed up in Mumbai. So I would call that a miracle only. Uh, yes, and once I had spent one good year with good people. I mean, I was partnering Brahmesh Tiwari, who is elder brother of Nitish Tiwari, that Dangal fame director. So you can
Hmm.
imagine that I was in thick of things.
Yeah.
But after completing a year, by the time year was ending, I found that what am I doing here? I have done what I wanted to do, and I was always a Delhi person, so the family was always here, and I had to come back any which way if I was not able to pull my family over there, which was a very faint chance that I would ever
Hmm.
do.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I mean, towards end of a year, I started getting the inkling that what am I doing? There is more to me, and there some saturation came, and there were days when I was just going there, spending the day playing TT, and you know attending the gym in the evening and coming back. I was living alone there, and one day I thought that yes, I have to go back, and there was no offer in Delhi, and
Hmm.
some saturation came, and I found that no, I would not resist it anymore, and I just quit and served 15-day notice and came back
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
without
Uh,
knowing that what am I going to do later. So then that soul searching started, and I didn't know what I will be able to do, what modality to learn, and how will I deliver, what will I deliver. I had no clue, and no
Hmm.
training, so to speak.
so, Bhavya, I think it is a very interesting thing what he said just now. Like,
Yeah.
there was this saturation that happened. And that saturation happened. So, we always say there is always a threshold for a person to leave something and get onto something, right? So,
Yeah.
Hasnain, I would like to know that what was that threshold moment for you? Yes, you went to Mumbai, then you came back without knowing what's there in your hands. But what was that threshold moment that took you to soul searching mode, like moments?
uh, okay, if I give you a background, uh, people say na, khali dimag shaitan ka ghar.
Yeah.
So I was getting 2 day as weekend, not much to do. I'm more of an introvert. So uh, Flipkart was, I think, yes, it was Flipkart only. Yeah, they just launched, and I just started experimenting. Okay, let me see how books can be delivered to your office. You going to Landmark and crosswords and figuring out some books, and here it is ocean of books. So, and they were very good then. I don't know how they are faring now. I have heard that they are delivering even grocery today. Not milk as yet, but you never know. But then they were delivering books very efficiently, and most of the books I got, like to read, were like Me and Rumi, and great philosophers. All these, uh, you know, uh, what was that, Alchemist, and all. I mean, whatever I wanted to read, I just would order, and it will be delivered at my office. Yeah, I had to just go down and pick it. So that was one thing, and I had 2 days to read all that every week. Whenever I was not traveling to Delhi, which was like every 2 months maybe, those weekends were dedicated to this learning. And then yes, you can say that I got chance to read about the subjects which I never got chance to read, even in college, or those books were not available. So yes, I think that triggered something deep in me, and yes, I would dedicate half day to internalization and reflection, because I had all
Hmm.
the time in the world. So किसी किसी दिन तो मैं मेरे ख्याल से 6-6 घंटा एक ही पोज में बैठा रहता था. तो शायद वहां से शुरू हुआ. आई थिंक इतना शांति आपको चाहिए. यू नीड
Yeah.
दैट मच ऑफ calm and peace to know, to realize who you are. I think most of us are living on the run. and
Hmm.
uh, we are not getting chance to go within. So I think I got the chance to go within, and that was magical. Yeah.
And Hasnain, to talk more about the books, what prompted you to write your first book, As for Sufi? What exactly happened 5 years back that you thought that, okay, now it's a time to write a book? It's not very easy to write a book.
Yeah, and not easy to write on this subject, because it's a very touchy and very deep experiential subject.
Yeah.
See, I have a Sufi baggage, if I don't call it lineage. uh, so I'm named by a saint, I am named after a saint, Haji Waris Ali Shah, famous saint of Deva Barabanki, which is 30 kilometers from Lucknow, is one of the landmarks of UP. So my murshid, my guru, named me after the saint. He was third generation saint of Haji Waris Ali Shah, and yes, I had grown, you know, uh, with this thing running in my blood, not
Hmm.
just knowledge, because I never got chance to learn about and read about and listen about these subjects. Yes, I used to attend satsang. I was comfortable uh, in a mosque and a mandir, even at the age of 6, I think. So I was able to cross these barriers of whatever conditioning, religious
Hmm.
conditioning, at a
Yeah.
very early age. So most of my learning about the subject, the Indian mythology and all, the credit goes to Amar Chitrakathas that I got
Amar
to read
Chitrakatha. Yeah.
in Ramakrishna Mission Library, uh, CP. So yes, I read a lot about transcendence, and how saints live. Ramakrishna Mission has a lot of literature around it. So I found that people are trivializing something very serious,
Hmm.
uh, like Sufism.
Yeah.
It is reduced to some entertainment genre
Yeah. Like we say,
by
Sufi
Bollywood
music,
or
Sufi this. Yeah.
yeah. So there are bars, more bars which are called Sufi this thing, then learning places or hermitages or khanka, where people can learn how to practice this unique modality. So I was moved by, rather touched by this whatever downfall in some way, and I thought, okay, let me put everything together and burst a few things. And the book has done very well in West. It is taken very well. I can relate to the kind of reviews I'm getting and all, because nobody is showing them this subject the way it is, you know. So most of them think that, okay, you go to a saint shrine, and Sufism is something which is contemporary. If it is not contemporary, it's not Sufism. It's some medieval ritual that you are rehashing, or people are getting entertained by listening to some songs, which of course have got some power of transcendence, but nothing beyond it. They are getting entertained basically. Yeah. So all this prompted me uh, to put things together, whatever I knew. I also researched in that process, and yes, I put together everything. And if you think I can share one core message of Sufis that is there
Yeah.
in the book,
Hmm.
which the audience can take as a takeaway from the session.
Yep.
And this is a quote by Hafiz, the
Hmm.
famous Persian Sufi. And he says, I am in love with every church and mosque and temple and any kind of shrine, because I know it is there that people say the different names of the one God.
Mm. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then after writing your first book, very recently, 6 months back, you wrote another book, God, Your Free Wi-Fi Connection. Now, this title looks very interesting because it relates to what is happening around us in the present time. So here you are connecting God with Wi-Fi and how we can do the connection. So can you tell a little bit about it, and maybe if that book is with you, maybe you can show to everyone.
Yeah, it is there with me, Bhavya. Uh,
Mhm.
it is this.
Okay. So what exactly is this book all about? Because these days, when someone talks about God, generally, majority or maybe many of the youngsters they say that no, we don't believe in God. And here you're talking about God, your free Wi-Fi connection.
Okay, so you have two questions here. One, that people don't believe, youngsters find it difficult to believe about God or believe in God. A second
Yeah,
is why am I calling it Wi-Fi?
yeah.
So this is actually nothing but my modality, the uh, the exercises, the activities, the role plays, the demonstrations that I
Hmm.
use in my retreats and workshops. So this is more me. So and my coaching and my retreats that
Hmm.
I conduct from time to time. Why I'm calling it Wi-Fi? Because if you look at ego, it tries to
Yeah.
own even God. My God is better than yours. You know, I'm still to like people say that oh, God is one. Fair.
Hmm.
Then my second question is how do you justify that your version of that God is better than mine?
Yeah.
That is ego. So all of us think that the way I am approaching that God is definitely better than others.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this
Hmm.
Wi-Fi is something my attempt to democratize spirituality. So
Hmm.
there is no Hindu spirituality, Muslim spirituality, or Christian spirituality. All spiritualities are actually helping you transcend to that supreme consciousness level where
Hmm.
you see things beyond your nose,
Hmm.
where you see things much beyond your own limited senses. We all know how much bandwidth we can hear. We all know
Yeah.
how many tastes we can taste. We all know how much of capacity our nose has when we compare to even dogs. They fare much better than us. So we know
Hmm.
these limitations. So this is perception world. But
Yeah.
beyond perception, there are intuition. There are so many faculties which are not even tapped, and they may remain untapped, and we may be buried or burned because we will die any which way, even if we don't open those gifts.
Yeah.
So this Wi-Fi word is like you are like an instrument, and you can connect anywhere.
Hmm.
He is omnipresent. He is the life force itself. So you can connect anywhere. Be a good device.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Be a charged, mobile phone, and that
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is everywhere, all the time, 24/7. So I
Yeah.
wanted to call it 24/7, omnipresent and all, but it would have been a 1 foot long name. So that's
Yeah.
why I cut it short. Uh, but yes, it originally I was planning that God, your free Wi-Fi, your 24/7 omnipresent connection. So that is one thing, one point that you asked.
Hmm. Hmm.
Second was
Hmm.
like why youngsters find it difficult to believe.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned that we are living on the run, and there are many things which can't be done on the run. Spiritual gain is one of that. You have to sit, you have to internalize, you have to go silent
Hmm.
to go within. And that is one luxury that not many of us have these days.
Hmm.
And that is why we are living like a socially correct but spiritually incorrect lives. And that is why we are suffering. We are
Hmm.
most well-fed generation
Yeah.
of humans, you can say. We are living in such peaceful times. Still we are stressed.
Yeah.
Still we think so there is something. So I keep on saying, even it's part of the book, that we are more psychology. We have evolved to such a level that we are more psychology and less body. So we have to look at our psychological side. People call it spirituality, but it is
Hmm.
psychology itself. So youngsters, if I can give you one example, how I
Yeah.
see why youngsters are not believing in something as fine as God. I have given one example that it is like everybody eats bread, but not everybody is present to something as fine as pollination, which is responsible for the existence of this bread. You know, but if you
Yeah.
if you talk to a, so it's a very evolved living when you can see beyond your nose. That's why I
Yeah.
said that you have to see beyond your nose. So spiritual life is actually a very refined life. It's a very
Mm-hmm.
fine life that you have to, it is like living creatively and seeing things beyond being a consumer. So we are just getting reduced to animals, like
Mm-hmm.
a monkey can eat banana,
Yeah.
but the monkey doesn't have the capacity to see beyond being a consumer and plant banana orchards. So
Yeah.
humans are capable of that also. If you look at
Mm-hmm.
Gita, it
Yeah.
says it gives you three levels of human existence: Vanar, Nar, and Narayan. In all three, you have Nar, that is human.
Yeah.
So you may live as an animal only. Sufis say the lowest level of humans is nafse ammara, which is animal self, where you just
Mm-hmm.
live like a consumer, eat, mate, sleep, and die. So it's a very low conscious life that we live. Then you become a
Yeah.
nar. When you become conscious of your finer faculties, whether you believe in them or not, but you've got the capacity to transcend further. Then you can move to that next level. That's why in Indian culture it is said that manushya janam paliya hai, ab moksha palo. So
Yeah.
you have fared to this level, please move further, evolve further. Yeah,
So,
I hope this
uh,
answers your question some way.
Yeah. Yeah. Shweta, please. Yeah.
yeah, just because so many things are going on, so it's like boom, 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 boom. So I want to just clarify few of the things. Because obviously, Bhavya and Hasnain, we have like listeners of all the levels, right? So some people must not be getting what you are saying about modalities, because I know you are an NLP and EFT coach as well, and a life coach. So for you, it is very easy to use these terminologies, but for common people, they will not be able to understand what you mean by modalities, for example, and then tapping into the unknown and all. So I just want that if in simpler language, you can tell about modalities, tapping into the unknown, and so that people can relate to it and how we are actually going into the what should I say, the consciousness part of it. Just these three things, if you can make it into the simpler language, anybody who is listening to this particular podcast will be able to relate to that. So that's my question, actually. Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta, for this brilliant question. And while you were asking, like I was fiddling with the book, and I have just found what you were asking. There is a diagram in the book that I have given. It is based out of wisdom from Gita only, and Krishna says, and that's why I call Gita a very holistic book. It's a bunch of modalities. Okay, here Krishna says to Arjun in Bhagavad Gita, and it goes like, by whatever path men love me, says Krishna to Arjun, by that path they come to me. Many are the paths of men, but they all in the end come to me. Okay, so here Gita talks about four paths which are popular, you can say, and I call it four paths to attain higher consciousness. And first is Jnana Yoga, the yoga of will and intellect. This suits the learned and intellectuals more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Second is Bhakti Yoga, which is yoga of devotion, path of love, you can say. So Sufism is one of the Bhakti Yoga. Kabir is a Bhakti Yoga saint, जहाँ एक गुरु होता है, and emulating the state of the guru is the goal that the seeker takes for himself. Okay. Third is Raj Yoga. Yesterday we had Yoga Day. So the
Yeah.
yoga of meditation. Here you have kriyas and action. You can say it's also called Kriya Yoga. Last is Karma Yoga, the fourth one, the yoga of action and selfless service. So you can reach to that state. I call it love state. Uh, through this also, through karma, but selfless, one way, not waiting for the transaction to happen. कि मुझे इसके बदले
Mhm.
में क्या मिल रहा है?
Yeah.
What am I getting in return? That is transaction. Then you are doing a dhanda, you know, a transaction, which is okay. Romance is not love. Many of us mistake about it. No, it is transaction. So love is something. Love is one way. Somebody asked our saint, "What is love?" These people, you people talk so much about, and it is so it's like overrated by saints, and everybody talks about it, and it is considered to be very important thing in transforming the person and all. And he said that ishq mein tyag और त्याग ही त्याग. So love gives and only gives. Love is somewhat more important than yourself.
Mhm.
That's the magic of bhakti yoga. Ego doesn't consider anybody else more important than itself. The moment you consider someone more important, your ego weakens, and that's when the magic starts. So,
Mm.
and in the end, it is weakening the ego only by acknowledging it through like contemplation or through readings and self, introspection. But in the end, you have to see what you are not, that conditioned behavior, where it is coming from, and then you'll realize that okay, the self, that construct that you have created, the ego, is actually not you.
Mhm.
You are awareness, you are pure consciousness living through this limited body, having a limited experience of whatever that you're capable of. I hope
So
this helps.
Hasnain, I was
Answer you.
going through this book as for Sufi, and there you talked a lot with respect to the ego, which you are talking about. When you talked about the common blemishes of the nafs,
Yeah.
uh, why you are giving so much of importance to ego? Because earlier also you talked about it. Now also you're talking about it. In your book also you talked a lot with respect to ego. Any specific reason why you think ego is very important to understand and to take some action on that?
Okay. So ego Bhavya is your is not you basically. Now, if Bhavya wants to realize his own potential,
Mm-hmm.
Bhavya has to know who is posing as Bhavya and is not Bhavya.
Mm-hmm.
So saints call this enemy within. So there is somebody within you who is acting like your enemy,
Mm-hmm.
your
Mm-hmm.
limited self.
Mm-hmm.
Now if somebody is enemy in your house, and it is
Yeah.
spoiling your house every day, don't you think you have to do something about that before you fix the interiors every day? It's a
Yeah.
everyday job for you. If you don't fix that problem, even if it is a small mouse, we all know that we have to take that mouse out because it can spoil almost everything that you keep in your kitchen.
Yeah.
So it is the primary thing. It is not the knowledge that is required. If at all we
Mm-hmm.
need to know about anything, is know about this enemy within.
Mm-hmm.
The
Shweta,
fake
what do
you.
you think about ego? Do you also have some ego?
No, I believe and I have always lived by that ego is the enemy that one contains.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather, since beginning, has taught me and it has inculcated in me
Yeah.
that I would have to say that in Hindi only because it's a shade, sir.
Yeah.
So, मगरूर दरख्तों को आंधियां उड़ा के ले जाएंगी. मगरूर दरख्तों को आंधियां उड़ा के ले जाएगी, वही शाख बचेगी दोस्तों जो लचक जाएगी.
Wonderful.
So It is
Wonderful.
all about ego. If we can bring down the ego, I think we are more near to the self and we are more aware, which Hasnain is already explaining it.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Hasnain, as we are almost on the verge of closing, maybe any final thing which you want to read from the book with respect to ego, or anything which you think is empowering and which can have a lasting some thoughts for us before we end.
And also, Bhavya, he can show both the books also for the listeners so that the listeners know what are the books as well.
Yes, 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 yes.
Uh, okay, I would like to read this diagram. It
Okay.
is in my new book, and it says that we can live in three modes. One is constrictive mode, that is when you are constricting yourself and your own potential.
Mhm.
Here you live a very greedy, very reserved, and very fearful life. The second is transactional mode, which is more like business like. So it's someone who believes in give and take, fairness. And then last is expansive. I call it love mode, which is a giver
Mhm.
mode. And that's when you start sharing your best with the world. And then and that's when you are more expansive and you see things in a new light. uh,
Mhm.
the world is not that scary for you, the world is not judging you. And most of us are conditioned in such a manner that there are people who are like there to get you. And the moment we live in that mode, I call it your fear mode,
Mhm.
you are bound to behave like Microsoft safe mode,
Mhm.
where you can do some basic things only, and
Yeah,
your charm goes away, and you are bare minimum of
yeah.
capacity. So it is just like that. So we and there are exercises in this book where you can figure out which mode you are operating from right now.
Mhm.
uh, so yes, I can show the book once again.
Yeah. Thank you.
uh, so
And
anybody.
also, Hussein, if you can tell people that in case somebody can connect with you, how they can connect, because you're a life coach, maybe there will be many people who want to improve something in themselves, how they can be in touch with you.
So I have social media handles, I have a website. My
Hmm.
group is called the Self Seekers.
Hmm.
It is as neutral as it can get. And to me, every religion, every spiritual modality is aiming at improving the practitioner's life only. Their examples may be different, but their end product is same.
Hmm.
So which is getting back your humaneness, you know.
Hmm.
And so anybody who has transcended the confines of their own conditioned religion and whatever is
Hmm.
most welcome. I conduct weekly life reflection sessions.
Okay.
I conduct retreats. Follow me on Insta, Facebook. Uh, you can follow Hasnain Waris or the Self Seekers on these handles, and I keep on updating about my upcoming programs and talks.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's where you can catch me.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Shweta, before I close, any final words from your side? Anything, the way you want to summarize today's discussion that we had with Hasnain?
I think it was a very, I would say, a knowledgeable session for me with all the soul searching that Hasnain would have done to reach to writing God the Wi-Fi connection. It's not
Hmm.
easy to write a book and explain it so beautifully that any common man can also understand. That be
Yeah,
that device which can connect,
yeah.
and that can happen anywhere. So that's the best takeaway I had from today's discussion because obviously, for the rest, people and listeners, you will have to read the book. And as Hasnain already said, people can connect to him. But Bhavya, I would also like to know what you think about today's discussion because it was like, for me, it was really, really a knowledgeable and a learning experience.
Well, I think Hasnain talked very deeply about many things, especially when he was talking about Sufism, when he was talking about spirituality, when he was talking about God. And overall, end of the day, the main objective is that how we can become a better human being, irrespective of whichever religion or whichever culture or whichever group we follow. End of the day, the most important is the humanness which is there, and I think that is a key takeaway for me. And I'm very sure that in case people are interested to know more about it, they will be in touch with you. Thank you very much, Hasnain. Thank you very much, Shweta, for participating in today's discussion.
Thank
And we'll
you.
be back again next week, same time, with another interesting guest. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Thank you
Shweta.
very
Thank you,
much.
Bhavya.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye
all.
bye. Thank you.
Bye.
It was a deep talk.